Welcome back. I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas week celebrating the amazing gift of Jesus with family and friends. I am so glad that you're joining us today as we wrap up our series, The Greatest Gift. So far, we've talked about God's gift of hope and joy and love and peace, and how we can receive those gifts for ourselves and share them with others. Our memory verse this month is found in 1 John 3:16, and it says, "We know what real love is because Jesus gave up his life for us. So we also ought to give up our life for our brothers and sisters." We conclude our series today with the story of the wise men and talking about how God speaks to us and gives us wisdom. We find our story today in Matthew 2, verses 1 through 12. Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea during the reign of King Herod. About that time, some wise men from eastern lands arrived in Jerusalem asking, "Where is the newborn King of the Jews? We saw his star as it rose, and we have come to worship him." King Herod was deeply disturbed when he heard this, as was everyone in Jerusalem. He called a meeting of the leading priests and teachers of religious law and asked, "Where is the Messiah supposed to be born?" "In Bethlehem, in Judea," they said. "For this is what the prophet wrote. And you, O Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are not least among the ruling cities of Judah. For a ruler will come from you who will be the shepherd for my people Israel." Then Herod called for a private meeting with the wise men, and he learned from them the time when the star had first appeared. Then he told them, "Go to Bethlehem and search carefully for the child. And when you find him, come back and tell me so that I can go and worship him too." After this interview, the wise men went their way, and the star they had seen in the east guided them to Bethlehem. It went ahead of them and stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were filled with joy. They entered the house and saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down and worshipped him. Then they opened their treasure chests and gave him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. When it was time to leave, they returned to their own country by another route, for God had warned them in a dream not to return to Herod. I want you to pay special attention to the very end of that story. After the wise men had found Jesus and worshipped him, they went home a different way than they had come, because God had warned them not to go back to King Herod. King Herod had originally told the wise men to come back and tell him when they had found the newborn Messiah, so that he could go and worship him too. But that was not actually Herod's intent. He was not about to let any other king or kingdom come in and take over his authority. But God warned the wise men about Herod's plan. God spoke to the wise men, and then they listened to him. And just as God spoke to the wise men, he wants to speak to you. He wants to give you wisdom to know how to navigate all of the decisions that you face throughout your life. Proverbs 2 says, "My child, listen to what I say and treasure my commands. Tune your ears to wisdom and concentrate on understanding. Cry out for insight and ask for understanding. Search for them as you would for silver. Seek them like hidden treasures. Then you will understand what it means to fear the Lord, and you will gain knowledge from God. For the Lord grants wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He grants a treasure of common sense to the honest. He is a shield to those who walk with integrity. He guards the paths of the just and protects those who are faithful to him." Proverbs 2, 1 through 8. The Lord offers us the incredible gift of his wisdom. He is our shield and our protection if we will tune our ears to him and listen to what he says. Did you notice these verses use words like tune in, concentrate, ask, and listen? These are actions, things that we do. So when you find yourself not knowing what to do, when you're facing any decision, tune in, concentrate, ask, and listen, and God will speak to you and give you his wisdom. And as we grow in wisdom, as God speaks to us, we can share that with others. God gives me wisdom, and I can share that wisdom with others. As we go into this new year, let's make a conscious choice to tune in to what God has to say. Let's include him in our plans and invite him to speak to us. And when he speaks, listen and follow his instructions, because they are a shield and a treasure for you.